Cleveland Cavaliers are currently experiencing a downturn in form, as reflected in their recent results. In the last 4 games, they suffered losses to the Orlando Magic and twice to the Boston Celtics. However, they managed to secure a victory in their last match against the Atlanta Hawks. A major concern for Cleveland Cavaliers fans is the injuries to key players. Darius Garland will undergo surgery and miss nearly 2 months, while Evan Mobley will also be out for an extended period. Their absences pose a significant blow to the team's ambitions. Now, much of the offensive burden will fall on Donovan Mitchell, who has previously shown that leading a team successfully for an extended period can be challenging. Facing them is another young team building for the future, the Houston Rockets, who are currently in excellent form. If the Cavaliers aim to secure a win in any game, they must rely on Mitchell to deliver a high-scoring performance with great efficiency, especially with 2 of their top 3 players sidelined. The young team from Texas is in excellent form, securing 5 wins in the last 10 days. The Houston Rockets have defeated notable teams such as the Denver Nuggets, Oklahoma City Thunder, San Antonio Spurs, and twice the Memphis Grizzlies during this period. In most of the games they've won throughout the season, Houston has been successful in imposing their style of play. They exhibit controlled basketball with exceptional and robust defense. Currently, they allow the fewest points per game, a testament to coach Ime Udoka's influence. The young center Alperen Sengun is delivering phenomenal performances and is undoubtedly the standout player for the team. Jalen Green is another young talent who, alongside Sengun, forms a promising tandem for the future. Significant challenge for the Houston Rockets is that this is their 2nd game in 2 days, and it remains to be seen how well the team will recover and prepare for this match. If they can match the energy of the home team, they will be close to securing a win. Both matchups from the previous season were won by the Cleveland Cavaliers. Ricky Rubio, Darius Garland, and Evan Mobley will miss the match for the hosts, while Ty Jerome's participation is questionable. There are no injured players for the visitors, but since it's the 2nd game in 2 days, there's a possibility that some players might get rest. If a couple of Cleveland Cavaliers players hadn't been injured in the last week, this would have been a real spectacle. However, we will be deprived of the presence of 2 phenomenal young players. Both teams play at a somewhat slower pace, and we believe that will be the case this time as well. Therefore, our suggestion is that there will be fewer points scored in the match than the offered limit. Our prediction is under 216.5 points. The Miami Heat look serious year after year, regardless of what lineup they play, and regardless of how they start the season. This team has a championship system and is always quality, which is why they won NBA titles. In the last few seasons, they've managed to do more than anyone expected, including the last one, when they made it all the way to the grand finals, in which the Denver Nuggets were simply too strong. And this time, the Miami Heat started a little slower. The team from Florida has been playing erratically since the beginning of the season, alternating wins and losses. But even in such a situation, the Miami Heat is in 5th place in the Eastern Conference with a score of 15-11. That says something about this team, but more about the Eastern Conference, in which every team has room to enter the season a little weaker, and by getting into the right rhythm, get to a better position a little later. Same is the case with the Miami Heat, who beat the Chicago Bulls 118-116 in the opening game before this meeting, and are in good spirits when they welcome the Minnesota Timberwolves. The most effective in that victory were Jimmy Butler with 28 points, while Kevin Love added 22. The Minnesota Timberwolves, on the other hand, have been playing the best basketball in the last few seasons. They prove it match after match. Such games led them to 1st place in the Western Conference with a score of 19-5, and they convincingly hold that position. This team is well filled in all positions, and the center line is led by Karl Anthony Towns and Rudy Gobert. When it comes to scoring performance, the leader is Anthony Edwards, who has transferred his excellent form from the FIBA World Cup to the NBA League. And so far, he has achieved top results. This team has a lot of defensive potential, and all that combined has led to a high position in the table. In the last 9 games, they registered 8 victories, which further strengthened their position in the 1st position in the Western Conference table. In the introduction to this meeting, they defeated the Indiana Pacers 127-109 in a game dominated by Karl Anthony Towns with 40 points and 12 rebounds, and Anthony Edwards with 37 points. It is up to the Minnesota Timberwolves to continue in the same rhythm and continue to play quality on both sides of the court. This team has both an excellent front court and backcourt line, and that is theirs greatest strength. These two teams played once this season. The Minnesota Timberwolves won 106. Given that the Miami Heat are always a tricky team, whoever's on the other side of the floor, they should never be underestimated. Therefore, it is difficult to predict who could be the winner in this match. However, due to the superior defense, which both are able to play, our suggestion is that the total number of points will be less than the offered limit. Our prediction is under 221.5 points. Los Angeles Lakers haven't been shining in the current season, and after winning the NBA Cup, where it was expected for them to perform even better, they have only secured one win in 3 games played since then. The current record of the team from the City of Angels is 15-11, placing them in 9th position in the Western Conference. From their gameplay, one can conclude that all eyes are focused on the alpha and omega of the team, namely the duo of LeBron James and Anthony Davis. When these two are performing at their best, they can compete with any opponent to secure a victory. The first of the mentioned is averaging 25.2 points along with 7 rebounds and assists. Davis, when healthy, is a formidable force, averaging 23.9 points and 12.5 rebounds. On the contrary, teammates often fall short and fail to provide the expected contribution, with D'Angelo Russell being a notable underperformer. Motivated to finally get back on the winning track, they host the New York Knicks in Los Angeles, a team they've already faced and lost by earlier this season. The trophy in the NBA Cup is already in the past, and they simply need to elevate their level of play to secure a better position in the playoff zone. The New York Knicks have won only 2 out of their last 5 games, securing wins against the Toronto Raptors and the Phoenix Suns in 2 high-scoring matchups. Currently, they hold a record of 14-11. It's evident from their gameplay that their defense is not up to the task. When facing an opponent that allows a high number of points and plays at a fast pace, the Knicks can respond offensively, but their defense is not something they can boast about. Jalen Brunson was brought in to be the leader of this team, and has no issue with that responsibility. While Julius Randle is averaging 22.4 points and over 9 rebounds per game. His performance could be even better if he didn't frequently take challenging mid-range shots unnecessarily, which, at least for now, he isn't hitting at high percentages, a weakness that has persisted throughout his career. Before their visit to the Los Angeles Lakers, the New York team suffered a loss to the Los Angeles Clippers. They aim to conclude their tour of the City of Angels with at least one win. And the key for them will be to stop the opponent in defensively matchup, which could be a crucial factor in the outcome of this game. In the last 5 matchups between these teams, the Los Angeles Lakers have won 3 times. Interestingly, in the last 3 games they played, which includes 2 matchups, the winner was decided after overtime. Anthony Davis, Jalen Hood-Schifino, Cam Reddish, D'Angelo Russell, and Gabe Vincent are questionable for the Los Angeles Lakers. In the lineup of the New York Knicks, it is questionable whether Mitchell Robinson will play. The New York Knicks haven't been shining in their recent games, but one factor in their favor is that they have a more complete lineup compared to the Los Angeles Lakers. Anthony Davis is questionable for this game, and even if he plays, he is not 100 ready. It's also crucial to consider that the New York Knicks have won their last 5 matchups against the Los Angeles Lakers, and the Lakers don't look as strong as they did in the NBA Cup. Our suggestion leans towards a win for the visiting team. Our prediction is New York Knicks to win. The Indiana Pacers have been playing in their own rhythm since the start of the season, experiencing a mix of wins and losses without stringing together more than 4 consecutive wins or defeats. They recently suffered a loss to the Minnesota Timberwolves. Being known for their entertaining and fast-paced style of play, the Pacers lead the league in possessions per game, resulting in a high-scoring offense. Tyrese Halliburton stands out as a key player, delivering remarkable performances this season to compete at a higher level. The team needs someone to complement him, and it remains to be seen whether the current roster has the necessary quality or if improvements will need to come through trades. They face the Los Angeles Clippers, a team that seems to have found its form and is on an upward trajectory. For the Pacers to have a better chance of winning, they need to impose their style of play. Otherwise, their prospects diminish. The Los Angeles Clippers are definitely on the rise in terms of form, securing 7 consecutive victories. In their recent match against the New York Knicks at home, they triumphed with a score of 144-122. Throughout the game against the Knicks, the Los Angeles Clippers dominated from the start and consistently increased their lead. The dynamic duo of Kawhi Leonard and Paul George scored over 60 points combined, leading the team to a routine victory. The team's remarkable accuracy from beyond the arc was a significant factor in this convincing win, as they shot nearly 50 from three-point range in the matchup. With such precision, there are a few NBA teams capable of defeating them. The primary task for the Los Angeles Clippers is to attempt to slow down the incredibly fast-paced play style of the Indiana Pacers. If they allow the Pacers to dictate the tempo and accelerate the game, their chances of success will significantly decrease. In the last 4 matches, the team playing at home has emerged victorious each time. Jalen Smith and Andrew Nembhard are expected to be unavailable for the home team. Tyrese Halliburton missed the last match, so his participation is questionable. As for the visitors, Mason Plumlee will not be playing. It's a clash between two teams entering the game with different momentum. The home team is on a streak of 3 losses with only 1 win in their last 5 matches. On the other hand, the visitors are coming off 7 consecutive victories and are one of the teams in the best form in the league. We believe that the Los Angeles Clippers will secure a win regardless of whether Halliburton plays or not. Our prediction is Los Angeles Clippers to win. The Denver Nuggets had an extremely successful last season. This team won the NBA League and proved to everyone how a championship project is built. There were doubts along the way, a lot of problems, but Mike Malone's team came out on top in the end. And this season started in the same rhythm. The Denver Nuggets were the best team after 10 games. Nikola Jokic excelled, only to have everything disrupted by injuries to important players, Jamal Murray and Aaron Gordon. From that moment on, the slight decline of the Denver Nuggets begins, who are now in 4th place in the Western Conference with a score of 17-10. In the introduction to this duel, the Denver Nuggets lost to the Oklahoma City Thunder in the top game by 118-117. They could not survive Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, who scored the winning basket with 25. Most outstanding for the Denver Nuggets were Nikola Jokic with 24 points, 6 rebounds, and 12 assists, while Michael Porter Jr. added 20. The biggest problem for this team right now is that Jamal Murray is still looking for form. This time he finished the game with 15 points with field goal 5 for 13. The Dallas Mavericks had an unsuccessful last season, and the question was how this team would react this season. Luka Doncic does not intend to wait forever for a chance at the title, so it was necessary to make the best possible team. It doesn't seem like that has happened, although there are certain developments. The fact that the Dallas Mavericks are in 3rd place in the Western Conference with a record of 16-9 and playing the best basketball in the past few years also speaks of this. Of course, Doncic leads the way in this, but former Partizan player Dante Exum represents the real X factor that leads this team to the highest achievements. In the last 6 games, the Dallas Mavericks won 5 times, while in the introduction before this meeting, they were better than the Portland Trail Blazers by 131. In that game, the most outstanding players were Doncic, with an unreal 40 points, 12 rebounds, and 11 assists. Hardaway Jr. with 25 points, and Exum, who continued to excel and scored 18. This team has offensive versatility, and they just need to continue in the same rhythm. These two teams played once this season. Denver Nuggets were better 125. Vlatko Cancar will not play for the Denver Nuggets, while Kentavious Caldwell-Pope and Jay Huff are questionable. Josh Green, Rickon Holmes, Kyrie Irving, and Maxi Kleber will not be available for the visitors, while Derek Lively is questionable. Considering that the Denver Nuggets are not in the best shape, but on the other hand, they represent perhaps the best team in the league, they should never be underestimated. The Dallas Mavericks are in better shape, but that still does not guarantee them a victory on the away floor, where the Denver Nuggets really lose twice in a row. Therefore, it is difficult to predict the winner, while it is somewhat more logical to suggest that due to the attacking potential of both teams, the total number of points will be higher than the offered limit. Our prediction is over 236.5 points.